So, good morning, everyone. I welcome you once again for this series of lectures. Today, we'll start with recursion. Okay. In the previous lectures, we have already discussed about functions and we have seen some implementations of them also. Today, we'll go with recursion, right? First of all, why recursion? Okay. So, recursion is basically a problem solving techniques where we prefer to solve a problem by solving its smaller instances, right? If I take some example, like suppose I have to walk a distance of, let us say, 10 kilometers. Okay. So what I would do, I would prefer to complete that distance in maybe some in smaller journeys of like maybe 2 kilometer at a time. So I think that approach would be easier for me. Okay. Maybe some other person may divide that journey of 10 kilometers maybe into two sub journeys of 5 kilometer each, right? So if we solve a problem by kind of decomposing that problem into its smaller versions, then it would be sometimes easier and better, right? So that is written there. Sometimes the best way to solve a problem is by solving its smaller versions, right? So recursion is a kind of problem solving technique where we deal with the smaller problem is, or you can say smaller version of the same problem, right? Then we come to the formal definition of recursion or recursive functions in C. Okay. So what is recursion? So whenever a function, so recursive function is basically a special kind of functions. Okay. And this whole process uh, would be called as a recursion. So what is a recursion? A recursion is a process in which a function calls itself, right? Generally what happens, uh, what we have a calling function and we have a called function. Like suppose I have a function x and I have a function y. And what we have, we make a call from x to y. Whenever we need y, we call it. Okay. So this x is basically is a calling function. It is a calling function, right? And y is a called function. So that is a general process that we have seen till now. Okay. Now what is recursion basically? In recursion, this function x, if it is recursive, then it will call itself. So x will make a call to itself, right? So if a function call itself repeatedly to find the desired result until some condition is satisfied. Okay. So obviously, it is very much understood that x is not going to infinitely call itself, right? There has to be some situation, some condition whenever this recursive calling process has to be stopped. Okay. So this whole process of calling itself by a particular function until a particular condition is satisfied, this whole process is known as recursion. Okay. And this function x would be called as a recursive function. So this is a simple example where we have made void this main function as a recursive function. So here you can see this is the definition of main, right? And in this definition, what we have done, we have printed something like uh, we have printed something like I am recursive. Okay. And inside this definition, this statement is basically a calling statement. And which function we are calling? We are calling main function. So what we are doing inside main function, we are calling the same function. So that is a example of recursion. Okay. So whenever whenever control will come to this statement, this calling statement, it will go back again to the starting and it will repeat itself. So repetition will go on and on, right? So here you can see main is calling itself. So this process is known as recursion, and this main function is known as recursive function. Now, how to implement the recursion? So for implementing recursion, we basically have two components. We have to consider two components, or you can say it has basic two steps for implementation of recursion that you have to look after. One is recursive relation. Recursive relation means how a function is going to call itself. That means what statement we should write in the definition of that function which is responsible for the recursive calling. Okay, so here I'll take an example of factorial. So let us say if suppose I want to calculate the factorial of, let us say, 4. So everyone knows 4 factorial is 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. But in other way, I can write like 4 factorial can be written as 4 into factorial of 3, right? So what we are doing, if uh, similarly this 3 factorial can be written as 3 into factorial of 2, and so on. So if I put it in a programming statement, then it can be written like this. Factorial of n can be written like n into factorial of n minus 1. So same function, this function fact function is calling itself, but with a different parameter. Here the parameter is n, and here the parameter is n minus 1, right? So this function will become a recursive function. This is a recursive approach where a function is calling itself. Then other main component is termination condition. So obviously if you look at this example, so 2 factorial would be 2 factorial is 2 into factorial of 1. Then again, now here itself I can terminate, or maybe I can go further, like 1 factorial can be written as 1 into factorial of 0. And everyone knows 0 factorial is nothing but 1, right? So when you reach this condition, where this n, this parameter, this n value has become 0. So now you do not need to make any further recursive call. So that is what, this is the situation where this recursive call process has to be stopped. And this condition is called as termination condition. So like in looping also we do have some condition, and that loop will keep on repeat itself until that condition is false, right? Here also we will have a condition, and if that condition is true, then there would be no further recursive calls. Okay, now let us have a look at the proper example, proper code, so of a recursive function. So here we have written a function fact, and what it will return, it will return a long integer value. So return type is long int. What we are passing, basically we are passing one value n, we are passing one value n for which we want to calculate the factorial, right? Now in any recursive function we have to look after two things. One is how to make a call, how to make a recursive call, and other one is what is the termination condition. Okay, what is the termination condition? Now in case of factorial, what is the termination condition? Like, okay, if we have like n is 0, if the number is 0 for which you want to calculate the factorial, so here there is no need of recursive calling. Here directly I can say if n is 0, then factorial would be 1. Okay, so that is what, this is the termination condition. And how the call would be made, how the recursive call would be made? So it would be simple, n into factorial of n minus 1. So this is what we have. So there are two possibility. One is there can be a recursive call, and other is there would not be a recursive call. So here what we have, if n is equals to 0. So this is the termination condition. So if this condition is true, then what we will return? We'll return 1. Okay. Else means this n is not equals to 0. So not equals to 0 means it is something else like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something more than 0. So in that case, recursive call has to be there. So we have return n into factor of n minus 1. We have written the recursive relation. Here is the termination condition and here is the recursive relation. Okay. Now how it is going to execute? Suppose n you have given as 5. N is 5. So what will happen? First time n would be 5. Then if you go to the previous example, then this condition would be false. So it will go to this part, else part. And here we have n is 5. So it would be something like this, 5 into factorial of 4. Again, there is a recursive call. So whatever the process you have done for n equals to 5, same process would be repeated for now n equals to 4. Right? So here you can see when 5, so there is a call of 5 into factorial of 4. Now same process would be repeated for. So what it will do, recursive process uses a stack. What it will do, it will put this value 5 in the stack. Okay. Then 5 into 4, again same process is repeated for 4. So it will be 4 into factorial of 3. Then same process for 3. Now it will push 4 for, then it will push 3 in the stack. Then it will push 2. Then it will push 1. And 1 factorial is 1 into factorial of 0. So at this time, my n is what? My n has become 0. Right? And that satisfies the termination condition. Now this condition is true. So what it will do, it will return 1. So at this time, this whole process will, now it will be completed in the reverse order. So 1 would be returned. Now come to this side. 1 is returned. Now what it will do, it will take 1 out of this stack and multiply here. Multiply with this 1. So 1 into 1 is 1. Then it will take 2 out of this stack and multiply. So 2 into 1 here, right? Here we have a multiplication 2 into 1. So 2 into 1 is 2. Then it will take 3 out of this stack and multiply. Here you can see 2 यहाँ से return हुआ. So 2 into 3 is 6. Then 6 would be returned and it will take 4 out of this stack. So 4 into 6 is 24. So 24 would be returned. And at last what we have 5. So 5 would be taken out of the stack, popped out of the stack. 24 into 5, 120. This 120 is the final result which would be returned to the main function. So it will go to the main function or whatever the function which is making the call. Right? So this is how recursion process executes. This is how recursive function executes. Now, initially we have seen looping. So looping is nothing but iterative process, right? And now we have seen recursion. So which one is better? Which one is good for us? See, every process do have some kind of advantages as well as disadvantages. Okay. So we can use, if someone asks you, okay, what is recursion? What is the alternative of recursion? So alternative of recursion is iteration. That is looping. Looping is the alternative of recursion. And in other words, you can say recursion is the alternative of looping. Okay. So here we have written iteration can be used. Iteration means loops can be used in place of recursion. Iteration basically used looping constructs, for loop, while loop, do while loop. Okay. Recursion uses branching structure. Branching you have seen in the previous example how it was done. Okay. Now recursive solution, basically what is the main. First I'll come to advantage. Okay, what is good with the recursion? So recursion can simplify my solution. Okay, it would be easier for me to write the code. The number of lines in the code would be less, so code would be shorter. Okay, and it is easily understandable. For some problem, recursion is much easier to understand as we compare it with the looping. But what is the disadvantage with the recursion? It takes more time and space. Okay, why it takes more time? Because as you can see with the functions also, there has to be a branching. So whenever there is a branching process is there, so there would be some time required for it, for that branching process to complete. Okay, so that is why it takes more time as compared to looping approach. Now how it takes more space? Because whenever you use a function and whenever there is a call to the function, so there has to be a space that is to be allocated in the stack. Okay, there is a stack associated with the execution and there has to be some space allocated for every call to the function. Now you can see, if we are calculating the factorial of 5, then how many times we are calling the function? We are calling the function 5 times. So 5 times the stack space has to be created, right? That is why a recursive approach takes much more space as compared to looping approach, right? So this was about recursion and recursive functions. That's all. Thank you so